the world just stopped. Tupac Shakur, the man we thought died in 1996, has returned. And he's not back to rap, he's back to expose JayZ and Diddy. Before we continue, I would like you watch this video till the end.
It's been confirmed Tupac is alive and he's been living in Cuba all this time. This is a photo I snapped of him with my Nokia phone. That's the only phone the Cuban governors would let me bring into the country. He's been living in Cuba. This is a small farm that he lives on that he does more for just a hobby, and he says connect to the earth. This is the local bar that he sits at and grabs a beer every day. I talked to the bartender and they said we love him. We didn't know that it was Tupac. And this is his fishing boat. He says he goes fishing almost every day. And then he eats the fish. He said, you can't beat this life. I asked him, you were so talented at the rap music age. Why would you just leave the scene? And he said, you know what? You might not understand it. And I said, please just tell me the reason, Tupac. I think, we respect your privacy, but I do think you owe it to the public to let us know, because you can't just hide that talent. And the answer that he gave me is just humbling and astonishing, and I'll share that in part 2.
Switch it up, Bleak. At one point, Tupac switched his energy and he was somewhat coming at JayZ for some time.
This was on the Machiavelli album. That was on the Machiavelli album around that same time. Where he was like, JayZ from the Hawaiian Sophie fame.
JayZ from Hawaiian Sophie fame.
I'm a bad boy, JayZ got to. Leaving the strip club Coco's in Miami. But they used to sell the bootleg tapes out there. This is before the Machiavelli album even dropped. Had it. So I'm like, ooh, let me get it, because I want to hear it. You know what I mean? Get in the van. So remember, this is when Jay was riding in the turtle top.
So you don't know.
So I get in the turtle top, you know what I mean? I put the tape in, and that shit into the part. Yeah, JayZ too. Jay said, what he said? And that hole was back there steaming, like, turn that shit off. We listened to that album.
That's real.
We listened to Pac was dope.
In Las Vegas, Nevada, at the MGM Grand, was just another false flag that played out very, very well. And people bowed down and people really worshipped what happened, because they thought that their idol was taken and it wasn't right. So of course, everybody really believes what happened at the MGM Grand happened. But what people don't know is that the MGM Grand is also well known for human trafficking, drug smuggling, organ harvesting, not to mention the other things that they get away with trafficking throughout the casino. Whether it comes for their own restaurants, whether it's something for their own casino. MGM Grand is one of the biggest casinos that are well known for the things that have happened. It just everybody looks it over because it's Las Vegas. Nobody questions it. Nobody digs too deep into it. But that was the false flag. That was supposedly what happened, right? He was shot in the car in front of the MGM Grand.
Tell me about Tupac. Can I explain something here tonight that I hope y'all clap, because I'm about to say exactly what y'all think. White people always, I can say this because I'm so not a racist. White people call Tupac.
I'm sorry.
Tupac.
Right. I know.
If it was Tupac, it would have a K. You're not the first. Hopefully after tonight, you will be the last.
The entire world just stopped. Social media has gone into meltdown, news outlets don't know what to say, and the music industry is in full-blown panic mode. Because if the rumors are true, Tupac Shakur, the legendary rapper who was supposedly murdered back in 1996, has returned. Yes, you heard that right. Tupac, the man whose death sparked decades of conspiracy theories, documentaries, and speculation, is alive. And he isn't just back quietly, he's back with a vengeance, vowing to expose the darkest secrets of JayZ and P. Diddy. For years, fans have whispered about the possibility that Pac faked his death, that he was living in Cuba or Mexico waiting for the right moment to resurface. And now, That moment has arrived. Tupac has returned, and JayZ and Diddy are reportedly terrified because if he really starts talking, everything they've worked to build over the last 30 years could come crashing down in a matter of seconds. Think about what this means. For decades, Tupac has been a symbol of resistance, of truth, of rebellion against the system. His words live on in songs, interviews, poems. He warned us about corruption, about power, about betrayal in the music industry. He spoke openly about people trying to silence him, about enemies lurking in the shadows. And if he's back now, it means those warnings weren't just lyrics. They were confessions. They were roadmaps. They were pieces of a puzzle that he's finally ready to finish in front of the entire world. And the two names being whispered the loudest right now, the two men reportedly panicking behind the scenes, are JayZ and P. Diddy. Now, let's be clear, this isn't just another celebrity headline. This is history. Tupac's death in 1996 was supposed to be final, tragic, the end of a legend story. But if he's alive, then the biggest lie in hip-hop history has just been exposed. And the reason he's back, according to reports, is not just to reclaim his name, it's to expose the people who tried to bury him, both literally and figuratively. Tupac has allegedly promised to reveal the secrets of JayZ, the puppet master who's built an untouchable empire, and P. Diddy, whose trial has already turned the music industry upside down. You could feel the shockwave instantly. Twitter lit up with hashtags like Hook Tupac is back and Fmuko Pac exposes JayZ. TikTok exploded with videos analyzing every piece of footage, every clue, every cryptic lyric that now seems like Tupac was planning his return all along. Fans started pulling up old interviews where Pac said things like, "I'm not saying I'm gonna change the world, but I'll spark the brain that will." Well, what if that spark wasn't about someone else? What if he was talking about himself, about coming back when the time was right? Meanwhile, the reports about JayZ and Diddy's reaction are wild. Industry insiders say both men went into damage control mode the second the news broke. Diddy, already drowning in lawsuits and scandals, is said to be freaking out, calling lawyers, locking down assets, and preparing for the worst. JayZ, the man who always looks calm, collected, and 10 steps ahead, is rumored to be furious. He's the chess player who always thinks he's in control, but Tupac's return is the move he never prepared for. How do you beat a ghost? How do you silence someone the world thought was gone forever? Jaguar Wright, who has been exposing industry secrets for years, jumped into the conversation instantly. She said this is exactly what she's been warning about, that the industry's biggest names have been hiding the truth about Tupac for decades. According to her, Pac wasn't just silenced back in 1996, he was pushed out of the picture so others could rise, so people like JayZ and Diddy could become the faces of hip-hop. Wright claims Pac's return proves everything she's been saying, that the real power players in the industry have been manipulating narratives and hiding skeletons for years. And here's where it gets even crazier. Pac's supposed return isn't just about music. He's not coming back to release an album or perform on stage. He's coming back to tell the truth. The word is he's got journals, recordings, unreleased footage, and names. Names of the people who betrayed him. Names of the people who built their empires on the back of his absence. Names of the people who knew more about his death than they ever admitted. And at the top of that list, according to the rumors, are JayZ and Diddy. Fans are already dissecting JayZ's lyrics for clues. One line in particular from the song The City Is Mine, where Jay rapped, "They thought I'd die in prison, guess the system works," has resurfaced, with people now claiming it was a subliminal reference to Pac's disappearance. Others are pointing at JayZ's rise in the late 90s, right after Pac's death, asking, was that timing really a coincidence, or was it part of a bigger plan? Diddy too is being re-examined. His constant presence at the center of hip-hop's darkest scandals now looks even more suspicious in light of Pac's supposed return. But here's the most shocking part. According to whispers online, Pac isn't just coming back alone. He's allegedly aligning with people who've also been blackballed by the industry. People who have nothing left to lose, people who want the truth out at any cost. Imagine the force of Tupac teaming up with Jaguar Wright, with other whistleblowers, with the new generation of artists who feel trapped in contracts and controlled by the machine. It's a revolution waiting to happen, and JayZ and Diddy might be standing directly in his path. The panic is real. Sources say JayZ has been making frantic calls, trying to lock down allies, reminding people of the favors he's done for them over the years. Diddy is said to be leaning on his shrinking circle of supporters, terrified that if Pac really starts talking, it won't just be his career that's over, it'll be his freedom. Both men reportedly know that if Tupac proves he's alive and starts dropping names, the fallout could trigger investigations, expose decades of secrets, and bring down entire empires. And the fans? They're eating it up. For years, people said Tupac's spirit lived on, that he was too smart, too forward-thinking, too paranoid to go out the way he did. They said he had an escape plan. They pointed at inconsistencies in the crime scene, at mysterious sightings in Cuba, at strange doubles and unreleased tracks. And now, with these reports of his return, they feel vindicated. The believers are saying, "We told you so. Pac was never gone. He was just waiting." What happens next could be the most explosive chapter in music history. If Tupac really goes public, if he really exposes JayZ and Diddy, it will rewrite everything we thought we knew about hip-hop. The heroes will become villains, the legends will become suspects, and the empire that JayZ built so carefully, the image of him as the ultimate businessman, the mogul, the untouchable genius, that could crumble in a heartbeat. So the question is simple: do you believe it? Do you think Tupac is really back, ready to finish the story he started in the 90s, ready to take down JayZ and Diddy with the truth the world has been waiting for? Or is this just another conspiracy theory, another wildfire on the internet, fueled by hope and rumor? Whatever you believe, one thing is undeniable. JayZ and Diddy are rattled, their names are being dragged into the spotlight, and the ghost of Tupac Shakur is haunting them louder than ever. And as Pac himself once said, you can spend minutes, hours, days, weeks, or even months over analyzing a situation, trying to put the pieces together, justifying what would have happened, or you can just leave the pieces on the floor and move on. But one thing's for sure, the world isn't moving on this time. Not until every secret is out. And here's the part that nobody in power wants you to think about. What if Tupac's return isn't just about music or revenge or even exposing secrets? What if this is about changing the entire system once and for all? Because Pac wasn't just an artist, he was a revolutionary. He wanted to flip the script, to tear down the walls that the industry built to control voices like his. And if he's really back, then this isn't just bad news for JayZ and Diddy. This is bad news for every single person who's been sitting at the top of the food chain, using money and influence to silence the truth. Imagine the ripple effect. Lawsuits, investigations, deals collapsing, names we thought were untouchable being dragged out into the light. JayZ and Diddy are already panicking, but they're just the beginning. Because when Tupac speaks, the world listens. Always has, always will. And if he really does open his mouth now, if he really reveals everything he's been holding in for almost 3 decades, the industry will never recover. The empire will fall. The smoke and mirrors will vanish, and the fans who've been demanding the truth for decades will finally get it. And that's why JayZ and Diddy are scrambling, because deep down, they know the one thing more powerful, than money, more powerful than lawyers, more powerful than their billion-dollar brands, is the truth. So here we are, standing on the edge of the biggest story in music history. Tupac didn't die. He's back, and he's ready to set the record straight. The question is, are JayZ and Diddy ready for what's coming? Because from the way it looks right now, the storm they thought they buried back in 1996 has come roaring back to life. And this time, there's nowhere to hide.